this year. Good morning. There has been no proven public health approach that one should be infected with the COVID-19 Omicron variant to help build herd immunity. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said such an approach has not even been proven valid. Speaking after officiating the launch of the national-level End AIDS initiative through the Go NGO Smart Collaboration Model KK 2.0 in Klang, Selangor on Sunday, Khairi said it would be dangerous to try and get infected with COVID-19 and the Omicron variant on purpose, in the hopes of getting natural immunity, as the effects of COVID-19 on people, whether unvaccinated or fully immunized, are not fully known, since the symptoms and conditions vary.
Yang pertama, kita tak tahu kesan COVID itu kepada orang yang telah dapat COVID, sama ada dia vaccinated ataupun tidak. Ya. Yang kedua, kita tak tahu kesan long COVID. Hari ini mungkin kita kata, oh, Omicron ni lebih mild daripada Delta. So why not kita semua dijangkiti dengan Omicron. Kita dapat immunity kelompok dan sebagainya. Tak terbukti lagi.
He was commenting on recent reports quoting South African virologists that the Omicron variant can help build herd immunity in societies due to its high transmissibility. He said 99% of those infected with Omicron in the country were in categories 1 and 2. On the rising number of daily COVID-19 cases, Khairi stressed that the people should not gauge the pandemic situation based on case statistics alone. He said it should also be assessed by the number of hospitals and intensive care unit admissions, which he added were still under control. Khairi also revealed that his ministry was also expecting an increase of COVID-19 cases this month and in February as a result of increased public movement during Christmas, the school holidays, New Year, Thaipusam and Chinese New Year.
Jadi memang jangkaan Kementerian Kesihatan dalam tempoh masa sebulan dua ni, kita akan melihat sedikit peningkatan. Tetapi selagi kemasukan ke hospital berada dalam paras yang terkawal, kemasukan ke ICU berada di paras yang terkawal, kadar kematian masih lagi menurun, dan kita masih lagi rasa bahawa keadaan terkawal. Kita tidak boleh hanya melihat kepada kes harian sahaja. Kita kena melihat kepada other indicators.
The COVID-19 Omicron variant has raised alarms in health agencies all over the world since late last year, after officials in South Africa reported the first such case. Due to this, experts said new variants are likely to keep on emerging, putting individuals' health at risk. However, they said that the only way to reduce serious complications arising from any of the variants is to get vaccinated. Nightline's Hakim Azman reports.
Besides the Omicron variant, a new strain of the coronavirus that combines this strain and the Delta variant had been discovered in Cyprus this year on January 7th. It went viral on various social media platforms, causing havoc among the public. Virologist Professor Dr. Chan Yak-Foon said the public should not panic as the so-called Delta Crohn variant was not really something to be concerned about. Citing the World Health Organization, WHO, she said that the variant was a result of contamination during the sequencing process.
What we should be more afraid of is definitely the Omicron. This is confirmed as a variant of interest by WHO. It is now definitely widespread, dominant in many countries such as South Africa, UK, US, and soon in Europe as well.
Professor Dr. Chan also said booster shots are needed to protect individuals from the Omicron variant or any future variant, as it is able to raise neutralization against them. As for the Islamic Medical Association of Malaysia, a better containment and understanding of the virus, Malaysia could avoid taking annual vaccination like the yearly flu shots in some countries. Its president, Dr. Muhammad Yusri Musa, also said that there is concern among the public on COVID-19 vaccine resistance. He assured that such a matter would not happen and the public should not be duly concerned about it.
Vaccine helps in boosting our natural antibody, helping our immune system to recognize and react faster to virus infection. So it doesn't change the way our immune system works. So it may not develop resistance as compared to antibiotic resistance.
Dr. Yusri also urged the public to verify information derived from social media on matters relating to COVID-19. He pointed out that by spreading unverified information on the pandemic, efforts to combat the fatal disease would be hampered. Thank you. The COVID-19 virus is mutating at a rapid pace, and many are wondering whether the virus can be brought under control or not. Due to this, many experts encourage the public to take the booster shot to lower the risk of getting serious health complications against the virus. Hakim Azman, TV3.
The prices of dry goods such as biscuits and sardines, as well as clothing, are expected to rise by up to 10% this year. Maidin Muhammad Holdings Berhad Managing Director Dato' Amir Ali Maidin said this is due to higher costs faced by manufacturers coupled with international trade issues. Dato' Amir said manufacturers had informed that the terms mentioned would see a price increase due to rising cost of raw materials and logistics. He said clothing prices were also expected to increase by 10 to 15% with new incoming stock, adding that the prices for school bags and school shoes have already increased. However, prices of wet items are expected to stabilize. He noted that consumers need to be wise about their spending and look out for the products they can afford, adding that salaries would typically increase between 3 and 5%, contrary to the prices of goods, which would increase by about 10%. He pointed out that the increase cannot be blamed on the government, as it involved international trade. As Thaipusam draws near, devotees and visitors have begun to congregate at Sri Subramanya Swami Temple in Batu Caves on Sunday, eager to fulfill their vows and offer prayers ahead of the actual festival day this Tuesday. Checks around the area found that many visitors of various races took the opportunity to drop by the temple as early as 8 a.m. to take part in the festivities themselves, subject to the standard operating procedures. The Sri Subramanya Swami Temple in Batu Caves has a capacity of up to 15,000 visitors at a time. However, this time around, visitors will be limited to just 6,000 people at any one time, with the religious ceremony divided into 12 sessions, each session lasting only 30 minutes. Visitors were also provided a special tag equipped with a queue number. Temple staff continued to monitor the situation closely to ensure it was under control at all times, in addition to the presence of some 800 volunteers. Most visitors were seen bearing the pal kudam, a milk pot on their heads with the content that they would pour over the statue of Lord Murugan when they reached the temple within the cave complex as their offerings to him. Meanwhile, only a few stalls selling flowers for prayers and food stalls were open in the temple grounds, a far cry from the pre-COVID-19 pandemic years. However, the government on Wednesday announced that Kavadi processions would be barred during Thaipusam to curb COVID-19 transmissions.
Bila orang dah datang, dia ingatkan tempat ini under fasa 4 SOP. So kenapa tak boleh masuk? Lepas tu di atas tu sembahyang. So bila pihak agensi yang terlibat MK, NKKM, Kementerian Perpaduan semua menjelaskan satu kawasan ini adalah satu SOP Thaipusam, menjadi masukan untuk kita untuk menjelaskan walaupun mesej yang dibagi daripada semua agensi terlibat dari kementerian semua ini adalah untuk kebaikan para penganut yang datang dekat sini.
Devotees meanwhile expressed their happiness at being able to fulfill their vows and conduct their prayers in a comfortable and organized manner.
Kita follow SOP dan titik 2 vaksin dan ambil itu tag semua.
sudah register, masuk email, lepas tu dia orang panggil, baru kita datang dan ambil itu tag. Hari ni I dapat appointment dalam pukul 11 lebih. I baru pergi naik atas, setelah sembahyang, baru turun bawa.
Last year kita tak dapat join Thaipusam because of COVID pandemic, and then this year kerajaan memberi peluang untuk kita menunaikan kita punya Thaipusam all. So this year kita follow all the SOP.
Bagi saya tak susah, semua kita kena follow because this is a new environment. So kita kena follow. So nak tak nak kena follow juga. Pastikan kita semua ni sihat. So itu saja daripada saya.
Meanwhile, Selangor Police Chief Dato' Arjunaidi Muhammad said the current situation at the temple grounds was under control and going smoothly. He said over 1,500 personnel would be on duty at the area until Friday in order to ensure public safety.
Semua aktiviti yang berkaitan dengan sambutan Thaipusam adalah seharusnya mematuhi SOP yang berkenaan. Sekarang terkawal. Tak ada apa-apa masalah untuk kita ni dan semuanya setakat ini berjalan lancar.
Dato' Arjunaidi added that personnel from the Health Ministry, Fire and Rescue Department and Civil Defence Force would also be assisting the police at the scene. He said the use of drones around the Sri Subramania temple in Batu Caves will also be prohibited throughout Thaipusam due to safety reasons. The man who allegedly murdered his mother on Saturday had previously been convicted of blackmailing her and had served prison time for his crime. According to Kuala Selangor District Police Chief Superintendent Ramli Kasa, investigations revealed that the suspect is believed to have been involved in drugs for the past 4 years. Ramli said the suspect had previously been convicted of a crime under Section 506 of the Penal Code and was subsequently jailed in 2014. However, there was no record of narcotics.
Dari segi penggunaan dadah ni, saya percayalah. Saya percaya orang bukan satu jangka masa yang pendek lah. Berdasarkan orang sampai peringkat yang boleh mencederakan orang, mencederakan mak sendiri. Kan mungkin dalam 3 tahun atau 4 tahun, lebih kurang itulah. Cakap ni kita sedang jalankan siasatan dan orang daripada keluarga dia, ahli keluarga dia, mak, suami kepada mangsa dan anak-anak dia, kami dalam proses untuk merekam percakapan lah.
He said on the day the gruesome crime was committed, the suspect's sibling had tried to contact their mother but did not get any response and decided to check on her at the house. Upon arriving, she saw blood all over the floor and startled the suspect, who ran into the bushes near the victim's house. A call was made to the police at 5:45 p.m. on Saturday. The 28-year-old suspect was apprehended about 50 meters away from the victim's house with the help of villagers. The suspect was under the influence of drugs, and his urine test was positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. Police also seized a parang in the bathroom of the house. The suspect would be remanded for 7 days to assist further investigations, and the case has been classified as murder. After the break, rearrested Long Tiger to be charged on Wednesday. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The federal government has channeled 400 million ringgit in petroleum payments to the Kelantan government for the year 2020 and 2021. Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz said the payment was given directly to the state government based on 5% of the state's petroleum revenue.
Penyaluran wang ihsan tahun 2019 contohnya hanya 28 juta ringgit, ya. Di bawah kerajaan persekutuan sekarang, ya, pembayaran dibuat secara langsung kepada kerajaan negeri dan 100% tu disalurkan. Apa duit hasil petroleum kita dapat 100% disalurkan. Ini yang disebut tadi lah 5% hasil petroleum bagi medan yang pengeluaran yang medan berdekatan dengan Kelantan, ya. Dengan itu penyaluran ini meningkatlah berlipat kali ganda daripada 28 juta pada tahun lepas, 200 juta dan juga tahun sebelum itu, tahun 2020 pun 200 juta ringgit.
Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul was speaking to reporters after a briefing on the 2022 budget with the Kelantan civil servants in Kota Darul Naim on Sunday. Also present were Kelantan Menteri Besar Datuk Ahmad Yaakob and his deputy Datuk Muhammad Amar Abdullah. In another development, Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul said the government had allocated 2.39 billion ringgit this year for implementation of 351 development projects in Kelantan, compared to 1.8 billion ringgit involving 340 projects last year. The projects include the construction of the Palekbang Bridge, costing 250 million ringgit, Mesra Rakyat projects worth 102 million ringgit, and the expansion of the Sultan Ismail Petra Airport at a cost of 483 million ringgit. In Perak, police have crippled a drug processing ring that was operating in Batu Gajah, recovering over 111 million ringgit worth of ketamine. According to Bukit Aman's Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department Director Datuk Ayub Khan Maidin Piche, the seizure is believed to be the second biggest drug haul in the country to date. Datuk Ayub Khan said the drug bust was made after police nabbed 3 suspects aged 28 to 40 years old, believed to have been involved in the process and trafficking of the drugs for the local market during a series of raids conducted on January 13th and 14th. It is suspected that the syndicate began operating in the middle of last year, and police estimate that the amount of ketamine found was close to 2 tons, with a street value of 111.2 million ringgit.
Modus operandi yang digunakan oleh sindiket ini adalah menjadikan premis di kawasan perindustrian sebagai makmang untuk memproses dadah. Sindiket ini dipercayai mula aktif sejak pertengahan tahun 2021 kan.
Datuk Ayub Khan added that the amount of ketamine seized could feed the habit of 6.7 million drug addicts. Also seized were 6 vehicles, gold jewelry and cash worth over 200,000 ringgit. Of the 3 suspects arrested, 2 have previous criminal records and tested positive for drugs. All 3 have been remanded for 4 days to assist with investigation. In the meantime, the police said they are still looking for 3 more suspects who are at large and are said to be part of the syndicate. The 3 are Azrul Safwan Muhammad Puat, 28, Muhammad Qayyum Muhammad Azhar, 23, and S. Padmanathan, 44. Speaking on another matter, Datuk Ayub Khan said police will probe Pasir Berdama Assemblyman Terence Naidu's claims that his drink was meddled with before his arrest for allegedly testing positive for drugs at an entertainment outlet in Pulau Pinang on Thursday. A full investigation will be carried out before the investigation paper is submitted to the public prosecutor.
Kita sedang menyiapkan siasatan kita dan kertas siasatan kita lah. Di mana yang telah dimaklumkan, lapor kita dah hantar ke sampel tu kepada patologi untuk mendapat laporan yang lengkap. Dahlah, seperti mana yang sudah maklum, individu tersebut telah pun membuat satu report yang mengatakan ada orang masukkan bahan dalam minuman. Itu kita akan siasat. Siapa saja boleh membuat dakwaan ataupun boleh membuat laporan polis.
Datuk Ayub Khan added that investigations were also being carried out on 2 policemen who were also arrested in the raid at the karaoke centre on Thursday. On Saturday, Terence had issued a statement defending himself over his arrest in Pulau Pinang for having allegedly tested positive for drugs. He said his drink had been meddled with after he had gone to the toilet at the karaoke parlour and had subsequently lodged a police report to defend his claim upon being released from detention. The ethnic Rohingya man nicknamed Long Tiger, who escaped from a court lockup in Johor in December last year, will be charged in court on Wednesday. Deputy Inspector General of Police, Dato' Razaruddin Hussein, said Long Tiger, whose real name is Abdul Hamim Abdul Hamid, would be charged under Section 224 of the Penal Code.
Pertuduhan akan dibuat tu pada 19 bulan 1. Pertuduhan akan buat. Dia akan dituduh di Mahkamah Tangka.
Yeah.
Dato' Razaruddin was speaking to reporters after witnessing the handing over of duties for the Johor Police Chief Post in Johor Bahru on Sunday. The 32-year-old Long Tiger is currently under remand at the Sungai Udang prison in Malacca until January 18th. On December 15th last year, he was believed to have escaped through the main gate of the court at 11:55 a.m. while waiting for his case to begin. He was rearrested in Kedah on December 28th. Significant damage feared in Tonga, communications still cut. Details when we come back. Welcome back to Nightline. Tsunami hit Tonga remained largely uncontactable on Sunday, with telephone and internet links severed, leaving relatives in faraway New Zealand praying for their families on the Pacific Islands, as casualty reports had yet to come through. According to New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, the massive volcanic eruption in Tonga had triggered tsunami waves around the Pacific, caused significant damage to the island nation's capital, Nuku'alofa, and had smothered it in volcanic dust. So far, there are no official reports of injuries or deaths, as a full assessment was not yet possible with communication lines down. Contact also has yet to be established with outlying coastal areas beyond Nuku'alofa and where the volcano erupted on Saturday. At the moment, she said the main undersea communications cable remained inoperable, likely due to loss of power. In the meantime, Ardern said as soon as atmospheric conditions allow, New Zealand will send an Air Force reconnaissance aircraft to provide aerial surveillance. Flying conditions are currently hazardous. Earlier, following the massive underwater volcanic eruption in Tonga, Japan was also hit with a tsunami in its Pacific coast late Saturday. While there were no reports of injuries or major damages, the Japan Meteorological Agency said a small tsunami of more than a meter was observed across a wide area of the country's Pacific coast, prompting those who live in the coastal areas to move away from the seaside. The Philippines on Sunday lifted a ban on entry for travelers from 14 countries and territories with high COVID-19 cases, but stressed that foreign tourists were still not allowed amid a surge in infections. According to officials, the entry ban was lifted mainly to allow Filipinos in red list countries and territories to return to the Philippines without having to wait for repatriation flights by the government. The 14 red list countries and territories are Canada, Iceland, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Puerto Rico, Malta, Curaçao, Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, French Guiana, Mayotte, U.S. Virgin Islands, Mozambique and Somalia. The lifting of the entry ban was announced as the Philippines' daily tally of new COVID-19 cases hit a record high for the third straight day on Saturday, with 39,004 cases. Tennis star Novak Djokovic on Sunday said he was extremely disappointed by Australia's decision to deport him, but he would comply and leave the country. Djokovic lost his last gasp bid, ending a sensational legal battle over his coronavirus vaccination status and dashing his dream of a record 21st Grand Slam. 3 judges at the federal court had unanimously dismissed the unvaccinated superstar's attempt to overturn the government's cancellation of his visa and banned him from entering the country for 3 years. In an 11-day battle over his lack of COVID-19 vaccine that captured global attention, the tennis ace had his visa cancelled at Melbourne Airport, reinstated on a procedural issue, and then cancelled again by the government. Sports football, the German Bundesliga. Robert Lewandowski scored his 300th league goal and a hat-trick as Bayern Munich thrashed Cologne 4-0. Lewandowski got the game running for Bayern as he struck the opener after just 9 minutes, slotting in Thomas Müller's through ball. Müller then again provided for the second goal as he combined with Corentin Tolisso, who took a touch before hitting a half volley from the edge of the penalty area past Cologne goalkeeper Marvin Schwaber in the 25th minute. The leaders resumed their domination in the second half as Lewandowski made it 3-0 in the 62nd minute, thanks to Leroy Sané's clever pass. The Polish star completed his hat-trick in the 74th minute to help Bayern seal a 4-0 win. With the victory, Bayern extended their lead at the top of the table to 6 points over second-placed Borussia Dortmund. We leave you now with scenes of a traditional dumpling festival in Belgorod, Russia, where chefs cooked more than 60,000 dumplings in just 8 hours. With that, I'm Raymond. Thank you for your company and do take care.